Thank you, Ken. I'd like to thank the New Orleans Quarterback Club for having me here today. Friday night was quite a victory for Tulane. In fact, at halftime, I looked at Todd Graffinini and I said, "Who are those guys?" Because it was quite a performance. We rose to the occasion in all phases of the game. Offensively, we put up 318 total yards in offense, and we had 2 rushers. Darius Bradwell had 143 yards, and Corey Dauphine had 187 yards. The reason I bring that up is because going into the game, Memphis came in with the leading rusher in the nation, in Darrell Henderson. He was averaging 12.2 yards a carry, and we held him to a total of 47 yards, and he only averaged 7.3 yards a carry. So that was quite an accomplishment for the defense. Also, prior to this game, Tulane had only had 6 sacks on the 4 previous games, and during the Memphis game, we actually had 7 sacks on the quarterback. So that was, again, an outstanding feat. Memphis also had the top kickoff returner in the nation coming in, Anthony Pollard. He is only 1 kickoff return away for a touchdown in setting the all-time NCAA record. And we held him in check the entire game, which I thought was no small feat. So it was a total victory for the Green Wave in all phases of the game. I spoke with Coach Fitz before I came here, and I asked him if he really saw the type of performance that they were going to have last Friday night coming, and he said that he really didn't, but he knew that there was something going on because he had never seen the sideline as animated and pumped up as they were at the beginning of that game. And certainly, if you look at Coach Norvell's comments after the game, he said that Tulane beat them in every aspect of the game, that Memphis was out-coached, out-prepared, and outplayed. So that was quite a compliment coming from Coach Norvell. Now, next week, Tulane travels to Cincinnati. As Ken said, they are undefeated. They're 5-0. Cincinnati is rebuilding their program as Tulane is under Coach Fritz. They've had in the last 3 years, they finished 2nd and 3rd in recruiting in the American Conference, so they have some talent. Their strengths are the interior of their offensive line and also the interior of their defensive line. Their quarterback is pretty accurate, but they like to dink and dunk. They're not the flashy big play kind of teams that we've played in the past. So it should be a great contest. Tulane has not won at Cincinnati since 1998, which was the undefeated team, the 98 team under Coach Tommy Bowden. So we're looking forward to going up there, and hopefully we'll have another performance like we did last Friday night. Any questions? Any answers? Ronnie. It really was. The second, what Ronnie's referring to, second half against Ohio State, Tulane only gave up 1 score. And I really feel that carried over last Friday night on the defensive side. The defensive players really took it upon themselves to set the tone. It was very complimentary football with the defense, aiding and getting Memphis off the field, and then of course Tulane going on some nice long drives to keep their powerful running back off the field. So Ronnie, that was a very astute point. It was a carryover from the second quarter of the Ohio State game. Yes?
I understand that Millen got some playing time in this Memphis game. So is there a quarterback controversy now?
No. What happened was in that last quarter, it was actually 2 seconds left to play in the third quarter, that Jonathan Banks cramped up, and Justin McMillan came in, and all he did was throw a touchdown pass on his first pass of the game. It went for 54 yards. He's 3 for 3. He came and he played a little bit at Ohio State, and so now he's 3 for 3. But no, Jonathan Banks is going to start. Jonathan Banks had really been a little underperforming in the first 3 games, and I think he also took it upon himself to really have a great game. It was interesting that he finished the game passing the football. He was 12 of 21. But he had 6 drops. He had 6 drops that hit the receivers right in the hands, and they did not catch the ball. So he would have been 17 of 21 in that football game if those receivers caught the ball. So he really stepped up his game tremendously, made some good decisions on when to run, when not to run. So no, Jonathan is going to be the starter, but it's good to have Justin McMillan waiting in the wings because he's going to be probably the future of Tulane at quarterback. Anything else?
How's Charles Jones' draft stock looking right now? Tulane's tight end.
Yeah, Charles Jones. Unfortunately, Charles he's been nicked up, quite a bit, but he's getting back to being healthy. Some pro scouts have shown some interest in him, so he's going to have to, I think, have Tulane Friday night. They looked at Friday's game as the start of a second season, which is of course conference play, and I think Charles is going to have to really perform down the stretch in all these conference games as Tulane goes along. Okay, thank you very much. Unfortunately, I have to leave, so no disrespect, okay, Mark?